It seems that narcissists have these patterns that they have that are very similar, that they run basically on the same track, but sometimes narcissists are different. They behave differently one to another. It's as if they have a bag of tricks, and the same bag is assigned to every narcissist with the same tricks, but they have an option which tricks they use. So today what we're going to do is talk about some of the tricks that narcissists use when you reject them. So what do? How do they respond? What can you expect? This is all based on my life's experience primarily and my autodidactic research. Well, number one, you need to expect the narcissist to not do something. And that is, you can expect the narcissist to do no soul searching whatsoever. So you think you're going to teach the narcissist a lesson. What I have discovered is, no, you're not. There's none of this soul searching. There's none of this, what would you call it, introspection, where they stop and think, geez, I must have done something wrong here. Because the narcissist, well, they're narcissists. They can't do anything wrong. They see themselves as an individual who came into your life, and because of that, they are enhancing their life, even though they're making your life absolutely positively miserable in many circumstances. So that's not going to happen. Number two, we find that they have this confrontational thinking pattern, that it's always me versus you, me against, everybody else, and it's like a contest that's going on. So they can be very charming, with that. They can be very charismatic. They are very persuasive. Sometimes they make really good salesmen, not always. But typically they just are likable people, and that's by design because that's part of their game plan. Their game plan is to convince individuals. That's one of the reasons why you were entrapped by a narcissist and I was entrapped by, hate to say it, but by more than one narcissist. Yeah, I'm kind of slow at learning some of these things. But because they came across as being very genuine, being very real, very likable, somebody that you could identify with. So they have confrontational thinking that is covered, that is hidden at the very onset, and little by little you come to understand this is not a friendship, this is not a love relationship, this is competition. And a part of the competition is getting you to think that they are not the competition. But ultimately it becomes very obvious. Number three, we discover that sometimes, and this is one of those items that's in the bag of tricks that not every narcissist will use every time, but once they understand that you are about to reject them, they see the handwriting on the wall, so to speak, and so they decide, okay, I'm going to lose this guy, so it's time to get one last big strike in, to hurt this person really, really bad, to get one last sip, and let's not call it a sip, let's call it a gulp of supply, what I call ego juice, out of this individual. So they may hit you really hard because they know they're not going to have many more opportunities to do so. And they've been discovered anyhow, so they've got nothing to lose, right? So they may as well. Now, a lot of times that big strike will come in the form of a smear campaign. This is something they've probably been doing all along, but they've tried to keep it kind of subtle because they don't want you to know they're doing it. Now they don't care. In fact, they actually want you to know that they were the bad guy all along. They actually want you to know that they are working behind the scenes to destroy you. That's part of the supply because they want you to realize that, you know what, you've been duped and I'm smarter than you. Otherwise, you would not have been duped. And that's what they call duper's delight. They get that smirk on their face. We've talked about that before. Number four is they may try to control you from a distance. This is another one of those little tricks in their bag of tricks. They may not always use it, but a lot of times what I found is a narcissist will understand that he can't control you directly, but he can control you, that they can control rather someone who has influence in your life. So that it's kind of like, I'm going to control the person who controls you. It's as if this second person, this person in the middle, is the puppet, and he pulls the strings on the puppet, and the puppet then pulls your strings. But this person in the middle is often unwitting. This is not necessarily a narcissist, not necessarily a bad person. It's just somebody who is as gullible and vulnerable, well, in my case, as I was, or as maybe you were at one time. And so they're going along with it, and you try to explain to this middle person that, you're being manipulated, this other person is a narcissist. And they don't buy it. Maybe they do, but in my experience, they don't buy it. They think the narcissist is a good person, and that I am being, or you are being unreasonable, that you are being inconsiderate. You're misreading this person. I mean, this is a good guy after all. Number 5 is this: they may just be overly obsessed with getting you back. Getting you back for what? You didn't do anything. You just walked away from them. You just figured them out. Well, to a narcissist, that is a huge offense. Nobody contradicts a narcissist. One of the worst things you could do to a narcissist is tell the truth, or even acknowledge the truth, to not pretend, to not go along with their, I hate to call it a running gag because it kind of makes it like a joke, and it is no joke, but, they put on this play, they put on this performance, and you're supposed to pretend that it's real. And at the very onset, you thought it was real. At least I did. The various experiences I've had with narcissists over my nearly 70 years. At the onset, I thought it was real, and they became very offended when you realize, now this person's a fake. This person is a con. It's a scam. So they become offended, and they become offended, about just about anything. They have a line of thinking. They understand how things should be, and it's natural for almost everyone to be offended when people disagree with us. But you take that and you turn up the temperature as high as you can get it, and that's a narcissist. He's not just offended. She's not just offended. They are extremely offended about everything. How dare you not agree with them? How dare you not allow them to control you? And if you are the one who rejects the narcissist, that's way out of line. I mean, the narcissist is smarter than you, according to the narcissist. And so they are the ones who are going to ultimately reject you because you're not going to figure them out. But you did. No, that's offensive. That's a real problem for the narcissist. You don't reject the narcissist rejects you. If it's a love relationship, you don't break up with the narcissist, they break up with you. If it's a business association of some kind, a business deal, some kind of an agreement, you don't part ways with a narcissist. The narcissist parts way with you, and he kind of smirks at you. We talked about Duper's delight. For you to reject a narcissist, that is so offensive. And again, as we said earlier, here comes the smear campaign. He's got to pay you back somehow, some way, to still feel like he or she is in control. Sometimes it doesn't work. A lot of times it doesn't work for the narcissist, but they just go on to another source of supply. But keep in mind that they will always keep you in mind. You are always in the back of the mind somewhere in the narcissist brain, and he or she is still out to get you. It always will be. Always will be. At least that's been my experience. All right, number 6 is this. And we're just going to touch on this briefly because we already talked about it. And that is what I call second string control. You've got that middle person. Typically, this is a family member or a really good friend, somebody who is close to you, somebody that you love or care about. And so the narcissist will try to attach strings to that person, knowing that that person can get to you. And sometimes all the narcissist wants to do is just be a presence in your life because they know it's annoying. It's just a way to get supply out of you, a way to boost their ego. They know that they are bothering you, sometimes a lot, And there's nothing you can do about it. So they feel in control because they are getting to you and you can't stop them. Therefore, that's supply. That is something that inflates their ego. All right. 2 rectangles on the screen. And what that means is we can keep on talking if you want to. All you have to do is click one of those 2 rectangles. But if not, we want to thank you for stopping by, and we'll see y'all next time.